Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another Fresh Five Friday with Ty and Reggie. Today we got a special guest on here with us, Netanyia Samuel. But before we start, go ahead and turn over to my brother. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, like he said, I'm TY. It's Fresh Five Friday, and we got a classic guest with us today. I know her as Nay, and I'm gonna let you take the floor and tell a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I am Nay Samuel, and I'm
Nay.
very excited to be on the podcast with you guys. I hate that I couldn't have been on the other podcast, but I'm here tonight and I'm ready to go.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
you
rock and
was you
roll.
was you was here in heart and
Yeah,
spirit.
and we were just
Thanks.
cut off that time too, so you good.
Yeah, you did, and
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah, you put a lot of thought in that. God, you and Mikey, I'm telling you,
Of
y'all
course,
y'all go in.
of
But
course.
without further ado, this week's topic is Fresh Five Black TV Dads. And when we do these topics, everybody, if you're gonna watch these videos, drop your Fresh Five in the comment section below. I start reading your comments, then I'm gonna send you an invite to be on here with us. If there's something that you want to do, it's just all fun. You know what I'm saying? We having fun with it. So since Nay, you the special guest, go ahead and give us your Fresh Five Black TV Dads.
Okay, they are not in no particular order.
Facts.
So I got Terry Crews from Everybody Hates Chris. Is that Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I got, of course, Cliff Huxtable and James Evans and I like Carl Winslow because I loved Family Matters. I thought he was a great guy and he
Mhm.
put up with a lot of stuff. And my last one is James Evans.
Okay, talk about
Did
him.
I?
Talk. Yeah, that's five. Talk about
Oh well,
Fresh Five.
I'm gonna start with James. James ain't play no games. He's like the typical father. He ready to get the belt. He ready to put it down and make sure y'all doing what the kids doing what they supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
James don't play no games.
Yeah.
And I really think James represents the typical black father. Well, for me coming up, he represents that for me growing up. Cause my dad, he was like that. He ain't play no games, and he was ready to get the belt, especially for my brother Bernard.
Right.
And he'll put it down. He ain't play. And as far as Cliff, you know, Miss Dr. Huxtable, he was just I don't know what to say. He is like this. He is just I think he is the all-time greatest dad. I mean, he he always try to teach his kids to stay humble. Even though he was a doctor, his wife was a lawyer. He always taught his kids how to stay humble and not just because just because your parents got money don't mean that you got money. You still got to go out, get and work for yours. And he instilled that in his children, well, in the kids of the Huxtable family, for them to go to school, get your education. You got to get out there and provide for you. I brought you in this world. Now it's up to you. It's up to you to fend for yourself. And I appreciate that about Cliff, because he a lot of parents, we coddle our kids, and I have been guilty of it too, not knowingly, but we coddle our kids, and they so dependent on us, and they don't have a clue what how to go out there and get a job, support themselves, and just do the right thing. So, but Cliff, he always instilled that in his kids, and that's what I like about him. And I guess Carl Winslow, what I like most about him is he's a very patient person, because if you're dealing with somebody like Steve Urkel, it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of patience to deal with, and he always had that patience, and he was always about what's right, and teaching his son Eddie, about the right things to do and the right way to go. And know, all of them really just try to instill values and morals in the kids, and, teaching them life lessons and stuff like that. And that's what I appreciate so much about these TV dads, because they were really good role models, and I don't want to talk about Bill and his other stuff, but Cliff Huxtable, he was just like, he's like the all-time greatest father, role model figure ever. And nobody can't take that away from him. Regardless of what he did, nobody cannot take that away from him. And I know James Evans, he got so upset with the show, because he got so sick of struggling, always struggling, and never being able to make it out the ghetto, and I think that's why he left the show or whatever. But at the same time, that's life. It's a lot of people who don't make it out. And it's a lot of people who always get knocked down and don't get that chance, don't get that real chance in life. And and well, that goes into a whole lot of other things, about our Black men, because they get so depressed and down on themselves, they can't provide, they can't do for their families and stuff like that. So, but who else? Oh, Bernie Mac. I forgot about Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac. I love Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was ready to fight a kid. Bernie Mac, he about like James Evans. He ain't play no games, but he had a tender side. He had a soft side. But yeah, Bernie Mac. I forgot about Bernie Mac.
That's all good.
I think he was an awesome TV dad.
All right. Well, that's a good list, Nate. You got anything else you want to add before we go to Ty?
No, I think
Hey,
no,
hey,
I think I talked too
no,
much.
no, you did. Hey, it's all about
You
you.
good.
Yeah,
You
it's all
good,
about
man.
you. Take all the time you
Yeah.
want. But I love your list. I love that you picked Terry Crews. That was a good ad. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. So I was all over the place with my list. I started out, I was gonna pick people that I felt like would would have been a good dad to me to give me the best opportunity in life. So, but then I went from that. But my first pick is Uncle Phil, from Fresh Prince. You know, coming up, not really having much, and seeing somebody in Bel Air with a butler, and you know what I'm saying, having that big mansion and everything, it was good to see. And also, you know, he showed a bunch of different lessons with Will and his family. My next pick was little George Jefferson, moving on up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he was showing us how to do it in the, you know, in the late 70s, early 80s, you know what I'm saying? Showing that somebody that looked like us can make it. Then I wanted to come a little more modern. So I went with my man Ray Campbell from Sister Sister. You know, I figured that would be a pick. Probably nobody wouldn't choose. What'd you say?
I'm trying to think of the show. You know about that, Nate? You know what you talking about?
No, I don't watch.
Nah, Ray Campbell from Sister Sister, the twins. You don't remember that show? His
Oh,
name,
P and Tamara.
yeah,
Yeah.
their dad name was Ray
Oh yeah,
Campbell.
I forgot about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
him and Jack A. Y'all trying to play me, man. Like, come
No,
on.
you go deep in the bag on that one. I like that, bro. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot about him.
Okay. And then I went
Ain't on
with
my list, I guarantee.
Michael Richards. That was his character name, but Damon Wayne is on My Wife and Kids. Man, he was always getting on his son. That kind of remind me and my oldest. Like he was always doing something, but they had a good relationship. And then my last pick, I'm gonna go with. I had several, you know, backups just in case because I wanted to be totally different from everybody else. So I guess I'm gonna go with Flex Washington on 1-on-1.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he
So,
was a single father. Yes,
yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, because that's rare. That's why I wanted to shoot him. Actually, Ray was kind of, but he had help from Jack A. So you know what I'm saying. I wanted to go with Flex because he was raising a daughter, you know, which I don't have any, but he was raising a daughter by himself, and I know that had to be tough.
When it's
Yes.
Shanice Wilson?
Hmm?
That Shanice Wilson? No, he married.
Nah,
Shanice
his
Wilson.
daughter. Yeah, his daughter was the look
Kyla
Pratt. Kyla
Mhm.
Pratt was his daughter. Yeah,
Shanice Wilson is his wife in real life.
in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's my 5, man. So
You want to talk about them a little bit, or are you good?
nah, I mean, I'm saying though, it was pretty much self-explanatory. If you got an opportunity to watch those shows, you kind of know why I picked who I picked.
Yeah, man, y'all list was good. I guess I'll go. I picked Pops off of the Wayans brothers.
Okay.
John Witherspoon. I picked Heathcliff Huxtable, James Evans, and one that y'all didn't pick. I thought y'all was gonna pick was Fred G. Sanford. You know what I'm saying? I picked Fred G. Sanford.
Yeah.
But the last one I picked was Ghost off Power. But the reason why I picked them is because no matter what they did on the outside of their how they got their money or how they took care of their family, it always came from a good place. Each one of them always said it's all about family first. And I wish I was a father like them in a lot of ways. And you know, I'm thankful that I had a father that instilled those values in me as well. So yeah, so we all got good lists, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Ty, you dug deep in the bag, man, when you pull out that sister, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, you know, like I said, the goal, I wanted to, you know, try to have something that neither one of you guys had, just to give somebody else a shout out, you know, one that we might have forgot about. So that was the thought behind that.
You're right about that.
So
Yeah, because I did forget about him.
So if y'all could take one name off of each person's list, which pops would y'all add? You know that you probably forgot.
Well, I wouldn't say that I forgot, but I'm just saying I think for sure I would add Cliff as because both of you guys had it as well. But I'm saying for all of us, anybody that would come on the show, or anybody I would say in their 40s or early 50s would have to say that he was the epitome of a black dad on television. So it would have to be Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah, I mean,
for me anyway. What about you, Nate?
Mine would be oh gosh. Oh Lord, I just went my brain just went. But it was somebody you said, Ty. It was one of your people.
Was it Flex that
Not
was raising a
Flex.
single?
George Jefferson.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it was George Jefferson. Yeah. Cause George he worked hard. He was a hardworking man. And he was a very good provider, and a lot of people back then, that was the most important thing for black families, was to be a good provider. And even though it kind of lacked in building relationships with your family or your kids, because you always working and trying to provide for your kids. But I do admire because my mom was like that. My mom was a very good provider. I didn't have to want for nothing when I was coming up. I mean, and so that that hard work ethic, it shows love. It doesn't it shows that you love your kid. You want to support your kids. You want your kids to have the best of everything, but it doesn't necessarily fill that void where the kids need to feel love. But yeah, but I do love
George
George
didn't take
Jefferson.
nothing.
I do
George
love
didn't take
George
nothing for those folks neither.
Jefferson.
I agree with I agree with you, Nate. I agree with you, Ty, man. If I had to pick one, it'll be definitely be George Jefferson, because to me George Jefferson was everything I always wanted. Cause we grew up watching James struggle, struggle, struggle. George
Yeah,
Jefferson was the first rags to riches story that we ever seen.
yeah,
When we started watching the Cosby Show, they was already straight. When we started
yeah.
watching
They was good.
everybody else, they was already straight. But George Jefferson came from the projects. Even in the song, he said, "We moving on up." So he the first rags to riches story we ever seen. Hey Nate, we getting ready to
Mhm.
wrap this up, but go ahead and cause we in like 1 minute, just tell us how they can get in contact with you and what you got going on.
Well, you can contact me through Facebook. I'm on Facebook. You can also contact me through my blog. I have a blog. It's Reciprocity Always. And you can also contact me through what's my other Twitter. I'm on Twitter as Nay Samuel. And what else? I'm on Instagram. I'm on all social media sites. Instagram, social media, and or you could just simply just email me at
Yeah,
reciprocityalways@yahoo.com.
yeah, and I'll leave all that in the description below. Go ahead, bro.
All right, I just want to go ahead and throw out what the topic going to be for next week. Next week we're going to have your 5 dead or alive people you would like to have a conversation or break bread with. So that's going to be the topic for next week.
Okay,
I love it.
that's
Hey,
awesome.
hey, this has been a great week. And I look forward to next week. Here, I look forward to this every week. Without further ado, hey Nate, thank you for joining us. You know what I'm saying? This has been another
Thank y'all
successful
for
episode.
allowing me to come on.
Oh, yeah. And
Mm,
peace and
Anytime.
love to everyone.
One.
All right.